in-depth, investigative. This is KXAN News Today.
Good morning. Excited to be looking forwards and towards some chillier temperatures as the week gets closer. We get closer to the holidays. Good morning. I'm Erica Brennis.
And I'm Tom Miller. We have meteorologist Tommy House in for Kristen Curry this morning. So we're looking at it getting a little colder. How cold are we talking about here?
Well, once the front swings through, we're already at our high temperature right now.
Oh.
So it's just going to get a little nicer by the afternoon, drier air filling in. So
that's music to my ears.
We have to bundle down some of the Santa displays and holiday festivities out and about. Right now it's 67, humidity at 93%. There's some pockets of reduced visibility, not a lot in Travis County per se, but closer to Fayette County. Compared to where we were yesterday, 7 degrees cooler out the door in Llano County, 2 degrees warmer in Austin, 6 degrees warmer in San Marcos, 5 degrees warmer in Cameron. KXAN.com/allergy is 24/7 updates for you here, but 2 of our elements, cedar and mold, are low. They're both trending down as of 4:30. Clouds and radar beginning to see a little bit of the front that's going to be moving through along 190 and 84 towards St. Sabbath County. That's going to push its way south and east, and as it does, elevates our rain chances. By 6 a.m., isolated, back up to widely scattered, so 30% by, let's say, 8 to 10 o'clock, and then we'll dry out toward the afternoon with sunshine. We're going to show you where that cold front is and how fast it'll move through with cooler weather ahead in a perfect weekend. We'll talk about those temperatures coming up in just a bit.
Thank you, Tommy. The Lake Travis ISD School Board has placed the superintendent, Paul Norton, on leave. That school board doing so last night, pending an investigation.
According to the district, the board reviewed a report containing an allegation of misconduct, but we don't know what that report entailed. The board discussed it in a closed session. It named Assistant Superintendent Pam Sanchez as acting superintendent for the time being. We have reached out to the district for more information. In Hays County today, a man accused of murder has a dismissal hearing. Devontae Emerson faces charges in the death of Justin Cage in 2015. He has maintained his innocence. Emerson's lawyers are calling for the case to be dismissed with prejudice.
Overnight, 1 person is dead and 9 others are hurt after a fiery crash and shooting near Baltimore, Maryland. Car crash outside a funeral home there. Officers say it appeared to be closed at the time, and investigators believe that shooting was isolated and also targeted. Meantime, hundreds of people gathered in front of Wisconsin's state capitol in Madison. It's to honor the lives lost during that shooting on Monday. The vigil starting with a moment of silence.
3 people died, including the shooter, and several others were injured when police say a 15-year-old student opened fire. Police said everyone was a target at Abundant Life Christian School. As far as the why, police are talking to students to find out if bullying was one of the factors that contributed to the shooting.
TikTok is hoping that you will still have access to the app. It asked the U.S. Supreme Court to block a law that would ban the social media app. That law set to go into effect on January 19th. It requires TikTok's Chinese owner to sell the platform to an American company or be banned. There are concerns here about the Chinese government's influence over the app. TikTok says it wants the Supreme Court to weigh in by January 6th.
Congressional leaders released a bill to avoid a partial government shutdown. House Speaker Mike Johnson says the short-term spending bill will keep things running until March 14th. The House and the Senate have until the end of the day on Friday to pass something. Some House Republicans, including Central Texas Congressman Chip Roy, wanted to see spending cuts.
As long as you got a blank check, you can't shrink government. If you can't shrink government, you can't live free.
The spending package includes $100 billion in disaster relief after Hurricanes Milton and Helene and $10 billion in economic assistance for farmers. We have an in-depth look at whether a plan to tackle housing affordability in Austin is doing what leaders said it would do.
Yeah, the home initiative, part of that push to increase the number of places for people to live. And ideally, it would drive prices down. But now the groups that were against those changes are asking, what do the latest numbers show? KXAN's Grace Reeder dives into the data.
It's a City of Austin initiative intended to incentivize the creation of more housing. We're talking about the Home Initiative. You may remember that starting last year, a coalition of groups actually rallied against it, including Go Austin, Vamos Austin, or GAVA. That's a nonprofit that works to improve East Austin communities.
It plays into an oversimplified perception of supply and demand and increasing supply in housing, which is important but can be really folly without nuance and specificity of what kind of housing we're trying to produce, without any kinds of affordability requirements.
Now, as applications roll in under home, you should be able to analyze the impact yourself. But as we talk to those groups that have been so vocal against Home Tuesday, they say they've struggled to get the data.
I think it's important for us to look geographically at where they have fallen. I know they've been all over the city, but like, what are we seeing? Where are we seeing it? And what are we getting?
What we do know is that between Phase 1 and Phase 2 of the Home Initiative, more than 260 applications have been submitted as of Monday. The city does have some data on that on its home website, and each application is technically public record if you know where to look. And that frankly required the help of the Development Services Department, who provided me 264 folder names Tuesday evening, which all need to plug into this database individually. I'm doing that for you, trying to answer some of the questions that these groups are seeking answers on.
We should be getting some numbers on that. Right now, we have nothing from what I can see. It's left to the citizens to do their own calculations.
The city's Development Services Department says they're working on it too, though, and a compilation of data will be included in a report that comes out in February. Grace Reeder, KXAN News.
Good morning. Happy Wednesday. It is 4:39 as we look live at Highway 71 in Bastrop. Very quiet start. Our camera here at the Ally Medical Center. Not bad if you're driving in on 71 this morning. Congress is still demanding answers from the federal government after a series of drone sightings along the East Coast.
Yeah, now there's this group of lawmakers that did receive a classified briefing. Federal agencies maintain most sightings are things like planes. They are not threats, they say. But Austin area Congressman Michael McCall says there are a lot of commercial drones in the sky, and he believes the ones that have been spotted near military bases, including now in Ohio, are concerning.
It's pretty good speculation to assume that's coming from an adversary, and I think the best target would be Communist China.
The Pentagon says the military bases should handle those drone sightings on a case-by-case basis. Good morning. This is a live look early on from on top of our Indeed domain tower camera looking out at Q2 Stadium and beyond. Happy to have you with us here on KXAN News today. NASA yet again pushing back the return date for a pair of astronauts. They've been stuck on the International Space Station.
I cannot imagine having to be up there.
I mean, they're going
for
through
quite
it.
this long.
Yes.
NASA astronauts Suni Williams and Butch Wilmore, they've been stuck in space since June. They were only supposed to stay on the International Space Station for a week. But problems with their Boeing Starliner spacecraft meant that they could not take that capsule home. NASA is now targeting late March for the mission to return Wilmore and Williams to Earth. That mission, SpaceX Crew 10, was pushed back to give NASA and SpaceX teams more time to complete processing on a new Dragon spacecraft.
And we hope that that stays on schedule. 3 movies with Texas ties are going to be part of an effort to preserve American film heritage. They're being added to the Library of Congress, the National Film Registry there. 25 films made the 2024 list. They are the 1974 version of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, along with Spy Kids, and that's clearly the Chainsaw Massacre, and No Country for Old Men. The Library of Congress says more than 6,700 titles were initially submitted for consideration. All 3 of these movies were shot here in the Lone Star State. 2 of those films also have writers and directors from Austin.
That is cool.
That is cool.
I love seeing Austin in a movie, in a TV show, in anything. I'm like, ah.
I thought you were going to say, I love Spy Kids.
I love Spy Kids too. When they drive down Congress and they're like buzzing through downtown, it's so fun.
Yeah,
we met the van driver from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, really?
He came in during the midday. I was with Will and Avery. Very nice guy. He's like, I'm the van driver.
That's cool.
Okay.
Claim to fame.
It was
Claim to
interesting.
fame, yeah.
And there's also that TV show, that zombie show about Austin. It starts in Austin.
Huh. I wonder what it is.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
The Last of Us.
Producer just told us.
Okay.
It's in it for like 10 minutes, but I'm like, that's Austin.
We have a lot of celebrities in Austin that live here now,
Yes, we do.
and it's very exciting.
Yes. Big cold front moving through today.
I know
Finally
I'm
something to
watching
talk
this
about.
timing of the cold front on your map. Look at this, y'all.
Well, the mosquitoes have been
coming.
loving this weather, so I'm so excited for a little cold blast. Hopefully that wipes them all out. Here's the timing for the front today. It'll move through in the next, let's say, 3 to 5 hours in Travis County and south of us toward Fayette County between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. this morning. Here's the front currently. A few showers and thunderstorms up toward the DFW area. We're dry in Central Texas, but I'm watching a few scattered showers try to work their way through the mid-morning hours already toward San Saba along 190. There comes a little bit of rain there. We'll be watching that closely. One of our models is putting the rain around us, let's say between 5:30, 6:30, Lampasas, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. right over Georgetown, entering Travis County by 9 o'clock this morning. That moves south. Not severe, but maybe up to a 1/10 of an inch of rainfall is possible. That same model is saying, hey, 1/100 of an inch in Austin, 5/10 up toward Georgetown. Farther up north, you get a little bit less. So, anywhere in between, we could be seeing up to a 1/10 of an inch of rain. Not a washout, not going to be severe or heavy, but you're going to notice the front once it moves through. High temperatures today, 67, and we already hit 67, so it's just going to get cooler, which is great news for us, for those who are just a little bit on the I don't really like this warm and humid weather. I want some drier air. Well, this front's going to make things feel a lot nicer in that department. All right, wind gusts as well by 8 a.m. up to 25 to 30 miles per hour throughout the morning into the early afternoon. And gusts should subside a little bit by the late afternoon into the evening hours heading off into your Thursday. So your evening planner, I'd bring maybe a light jacket, especially with the gusts. It may feel a little bit more on the chilly side, but we will be staying dry through the afternoon into the evening hours. 67 today. Any sort of rain we get in Austin should clear up before 10 o'clock. It's going to be a very quick hitting line of some light shower activity, afternoon sunshine, and winds will be out of the north at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, 39 for a low, clear, maybe even some low 30s out in the hill country. Winds will be out of the north as well as 5 to 10 could be turning calm past midnight. Your first warning weather 7-day forecast 67. That arrow going down represents that we are already at our high temperature. 39 tonight, 65 on Thursday, 65 on Friday. Sunny stretch lasting from Thursday up until the first half of the weekend. Clemson comes to town Saturday. That game looks to be great weather-wise, a high of 63, nice and seasonable. Clouds build back in as we approach the holiday season. High temperatures going from the mid-60s back up to 70s, and our rain chances returning next Tuesday.
All right, thanks, Tommy. Across Texas, district and county clerks failed 830 times in reporting people were found incompetent to stand trial to state law enforcement. That meant delays in flagging them for federal firearm background checks before purchasing a gun. This comes according to a recent state audit. Auditors identified almost 2,000 times when individuals on the state hospital wait list were required to be reported to the Department of Public Safety. 43% of the time, those reports were never made. Right now on KXAN.com, we dig into that audit and you can find that under the Investigates tab.
President-elect Donald Trump is suing an Iowa pollster and the Des Moines Register newspaper over so-called election interference. This lawsuit accuses the paper and pollster of conspiring with the Democratic Party and Vice President Kamala Harris. Says they created a, quote, false narrative of inevitability for Harris in the final week of the 2024 presidential election. Trump's attorneys are asking for a jury trial. They argue their client sustained damages because of the need to spend extra extensive time and resources on this, including campaign resources to, quote, mitigate and counteract the harm of the poll.
Toll road changes in Austin mean about 650 people will soon be out of a job. This comes after TxDOT moved its text tag toll billing and customer service operations to the Harris County Toll Road Authority. Now, TTEC Holdings Incorporated, a Colorado-based tech company that was providing call center services for TxDOT, is laying off employees at 2 of its offices. Our partners at the Austin Business Journal report that it's going to be happening in February. This will impact an entire division at an operations center in Northeast Austin. We told you about this shift in management last month. For years, KXAN investigators reported on text tag billing and customer service issues. The Harris County Toll Road Authority took over those services in Austin back on December 2nd. We have a look at the other changes to the billing process at KXAN.com.
You can help keep a neighbor's lights on by participating in Austin's Gift of Comfort program. It allows you to pick someone who may struggle to pay their energy bill. You can contribute any amount using a check or a money order. An Austin Energy spokesperson told KXAN, quote, Our number of givers last year struggled to reach double digits, so we're hoping to get the program more publicity. Over on our website right now, we have a link to the payment form and an address to mail it in, as well as a link to Austin's Utilities Customer Assistance Program. That's a program with the same concept as the gift program, but that operates year-round.
Darrell K. Royal Texas Memorial Stadium is going to be back full of burnt orange again with Longhorn football in December, and it's certainly not something that Austin is used to, but it's happening this Saturday with the first round of the college football playoffs happening against Clemson. The W Hotel in downtown Austin says it's already seen double the number of bookings that it would normally see this time of year. And it's good news for the capital city because this time of year is usually quiet for tourism. So Visit Austin says it's a nice change to the typical holiday slump.
Typically is a slower month for us. So to have a major event like a home football game, which we've never had before for UT, this is going to be a pretty good weekend for December.
By the way, year-end numbers are expected out by Visit Austin very soon, but initial reports from the group already show UT joining the SEC has given the city a nice economic boost.
And here are some numbers looking in depth. According to the Downtown Austin Alliance's State of Downtown 2024 report, the average daily room rate for a hotel in Austin is $263. By comparison, other Texas cities cheaper. In Houston, you'd pay $213. $190 in Dallas and $177 in San Antonio.
This is KXAN Sports, brought to you by Thomas J. Henry.
Well, as we count down to kickoff, Texas and Clemson, one of the keys, obviously, at quarterback Clemson with Cade Klubnik coming home from Westlake High School, and for Quinn Ewers, likely the final time he'll play at Royal Texas Memorial Stadium. At times, he's been spectacular, the 5-touchdown pass effort against Florida, but there have been inconsistencies, but really no different than the rest of the Longhorns, despite that gaudy record. That's a moment in time. We're coming off a loss. They need a big-time bounce back, and, well, Sark is confident that will happen.
I have no pause that our guys are going to not respond and be ready to go Saturday for the college football playoffs. And because they've always responded to the adversity that we've been faced with, whether it's been in-game, out-of-game, facing injuries, whatever that looks like. And they've given me little things along the way to build confidence in me that's what they're capable of. And that's what Quinn has done for me. And like I said, you know, we all have to improve. We all have to be better. If we want to go achieve what we're trying to achieve, which is go win a national championship, we've all got to take our game to another level. And he's no different. Everybody's got to go to a whole nother level. And we have to do it for 4 straight weeks. The first layer of that is a really good Clemson team on Saturday.
Just like any other game. Just try to not build it up too much in my head and just try to go out there and play my game.
We'll get you ready for the game on Saturday, 2 o'clock on KBVO. It is the official pregame show for Texas football, Texas Game Day. Game night on Tuesday at Moody Center. Texas women back home. Longhorns coming off that win at Richmond. They scored a season-low 65. Much different story against LaSalle, even though a little bit of a slow start. Look, it's 10-8 on Jordana Codeo, getting some valuable first-half minutes off the bench. And then Rory Harmon, but still Longhorns let LaSalle hang around for about 8 minutes, and then they turned it on. Harmon with that killer crossover, the reverse layup, and Texas in that second quarter, how about outscoring LaSalle 38-9? Backdoor cut, Preston to Holly, and then Codeo, the offensive rebound, the putback, and Texas rolls in this one. 6 go in double figures. Rory Harmon, one of them, she had 10. Kyla Oldacre had 18, and Texas wins going away. Now they get a tough one on Sunday. South Dakota State comes in. They've got 2 top 25 wins under their belt this season. Tomorrow night, Texas men back in action against New Orleans at Moody Center. That's at 7 o'clock. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Roger. Coming up, a progress report after the city of Austin changes the rules for getting around town. By the way, if you're listening on the KXAN Today podcast, good morning. Thanks so much for joining us. We hope you join us on air for that story and much more. By the way, you can always find our stories on KXAN.com.